We all make decisions about what to wear to school or work or to the park based upon what is familiar to us and how we want others to see us. Sometimes our dress also makes a statement about our membership in social or religious or ethnic groups. Clothing can be a sign of conformity, but it can also accentuate differences or perceptions of difference, and as a result, it may foster prejudice. In other words, the way we dress influences people's impressions of who we are, but some, or even all of those impressions, may be false.
I think people make assumptions every time they see different clothing. Sometimes the assumptions are mild, sometimes they're intense, sometimes they're good assumptions, sometimes they have negative implications. Have I experienced it? I think I've been in this country for 45 years. I think I've experienced it for the entire 45 years of my whole life. There are a lot of assumptions about a lot of people. Religion, jokes about, blonde jokes, Polish jokes, Indian jokes, Pakistani jokes, they're all there. And I think people make assumptions all the time. In 1991, when we got involved in the Middle East conflict with Kuwait and Saudi Arabia and other countries, and Americans' views of the Middle East began to become quite increasingly negative, and especially towards Islam and Muslims. And how that affects Sikhs is that obviously we're a completely separate religion. We're not a denomination of Hinduism, we're not a sect of Hinduism or Islam. I think if I were to walk the streets of the US, 40% of people would think I'm Muslim, and 40%, and probably from Middle East. Often I get the Saudi Arabia thing. So we're not obviously from the Middle East. It's based in Punjab. That's where the religion was found in India. 9/11 was the clincher. I never realized how different I was until then. I just sort of felt like I was jazz. I mean, everyone knows me. I had an office every year in my high school. I was popular. I played college tennis, high school tennis. But I just began to, at age late 30s or early 40s, I realized I'm very different. I mean, obviously I was different physically. I've always worn a turn. But I am different. People are seeing me as different, and it's real.
I get a sense that because I don't cut my hair and therefore it's not very modern style, just that will tell people, or rather they'll assume that I am very conservative. Till they hear me speak and have a conversation, it's like I don't really understand English, I don't understand what's happening, and everything I say always has a filter to be viewed through, because it doesn't matter what's on the outside, it ends up being qualified right away. We were just coming back from our vacation, and we've been through this airport many times, and recently they've started to pull my son aside to have him tested, because bulky clothing is going to be tested. And so my husband's turban, we just laugh, because having a science background, we're aware of what random is, and definitely the checking is not random. But now they're pulling my son, who's about, not even 10 yet, and he has a patka on his head, and I look at the faces of those people who are checking and wonder why they think that, who are they fooling? And it's primarily themselves, that they're doing a job, because it makes no sense. And so that's the really, really negative aspect of appearance, and how it gets used without any meaning to actually be oppressive.
I'm wearing regular clothes, mainstream culture clothes, but I'm also wearing a scarf called masar, and it's just a part of my culture, and I wear it on a daily basis, most of the time, to carry a piece of my culture with me everywhere I go. I did not grow up in Somalia, so for me it was a matter of fitting in when I moved here. Minnesota was my first large Somali population that, as an adult, I would say, because the last time I left Somalia, I was a toddler. So it was a matter of trying to discover myself, and And for people to take you seriously, clothing matters in my community.
Definitely after 9/11, I saw a change in the way that people viewed me because of the way that I was dressed. But I would say in both places here in Minnesota and in Florida, I do have people who respond to me as if, number one, they assume that I'm an immigrant. I say that's negative because that they don't even get a chance to know who I am or know my background. They just make an assumption. What I've seen since I became Muslim, I've seen a change in people. They see Islam now as a foreign religion, and when I first became Muslim, that wasn't the perception, especially being African American. They saw it as something that was a part of our cultural experience, but now it seems like Islam is a religion from over there, whatever over there means to that person.